Hello twin flame friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte, Happy Twins 1111. Wow, big thank you to all of you guys. I'm so moved by all of your support. I hit the 2,500 subscriber mark last week, and I'm just so humbled that so many of you are tuning in, and it makes me really happy that I can reach more of you to share what I've learned and hopefully support you on your own journey. It's just been absolutely magical. So welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Also, today is the last day of my mediumship class. So it ran for 5 weeks. For those of you that didn't know I was doing that, it's a mediumship class to help you connect with your guides. We run that online. It's just been absolutely magical, and I'm just very humbled by the experience. So I am going to be announcing more classes probably on Monday. And I'm going to be doing a bit more of a variety this time. First and foremost, I will repeat the mediumship class that helps you connect with guides. So if that's something you're interested in doing, and I do advise it for this journey because that gives you access to high guidance, high wisdom. And if you're wondering, you know, maybe I'm not a medium, maybe I'm not a psychic, chances are if you're on this journey, if you're a real twin, you are a light worker, you're a natural psychic. So if you're not sure about that, you can drop me an email first. Anyway, we can have a chat. But that course sold out within 24 hours. So if you really want to take it, keep your eyes peeled because I'm expecting it to sell out quick. I will also be teaching twin flame energy healing. So for those of you that have had a twin flame connection check with me and you understand how I look at the connecting energies, I will be teaching you guys how to do that for yourselves, for each other. I will also be teaching spirit release therapy. And I was very humbled today because, as a lot of you know, I do work with Dr. Terence Palmer in Spirit Release Therapy. He was my mentor. He's also my colleague. We work together on a lot of psychiatric cases. And I asked him this morning if he would join me on the course for the first class so that he could kind of introduce himself and introduce SRT to my students. Very, very humbled by his response. He asked, actually, could he please join as a student, which I thought was really incredible. So he's really interested to come along and see how I teach. So he will be joining us as well. If you are interested in Dr. Terence Palmer, he does have a book called The Science of Spirit Possession. He's a leading academic on this subject in the UK, globally in fact. He's absolutely incredible. So I'll be very honoured for him to join us. I'll also be teaching tarot. And specifically, even though the course will give you a solid grounding for using tarot to read for any circumstances, I will obviously be looking at how we use it in the twin flame situation and how each card relates to the twin flame journey. So that's very exciting. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably be announcing that on Monday or Tuesday next week. As I said, they sell out super duper quick, so don't hesitate. If you would like a private reading from me, you can find me at happytwins1111.com. If you would like to find me on Instagram, pardon me, please do. I've been posting mini readings on there. So if you would like to... Oh, sorry, I just got a really distracting email. If you would like to come over there and check me out, I'm at happytwins1111 on Instagram as well. You can also find me on Facebook, where I've got a networking group so that you lovely twin friends can connect with one another and support one another on this journey too. The link for that is down below. Now, before I begin, I just want to thank Sibel. She's actually one of my students in my mediumship class, and she's such a sweet treat. She bought me this beautiful deck. It's the Prophet Oracle card set by Kahlil Gibran. For those of you that haven't read his book, I really recommend it. It's just so beautiful. My father actually gifted me a copy of it when I was 12, and it's still one of my most favourite books. And Sibel said, I'm not a reader, but this book, as well as The Little Prince and Jonathan Livingston Seagull, set my foundations. So perhaps you'd like to read those books too. Thank you so much, Sibel. You're such a sweet treat. I love it when you guys send me cards. It's like Christmas Day, and I'm going to use those in today's readings. So we've got a reading today to look at what's blocking you, what's blocking your twin, what's blocking your connection with your twin. What do you need to know to move forward? I think personally these are the most helpful readings. I know you guys like to know what's happening in the karmic connections and, you know, how he's feeling about you. But even though it's nice to kind of have a snoop sometimes and get some information to satisfy us while we're in separation, in actuality, it's, you know, the healing stuff that serves you. So I do think these are the most useful readings. I know that a lot of you really do appreciate them. So, pile one. What have we got for you? This is a wild the Vagabond Wild Tarot with Celestite. And it's got this beautiful holographic shiny edge. I absolutely love it. So, what's blocking you? What's blocking your connection? What's blocking your twin? Now, I also want to clarify that I do say he and she when I'm referring to the divine masculine, divine feminine, but of course it could be same-sex couples. So, you know, if I say he, I'm just referring to the divine masculine. If I say she, I'm referring to the divine feminine. And I do assume that the vast majority of you watching, probably 99.9% of you, are DFs. I've never, ever been approached for a reading by a divine masculine. I've had men come to me for readings who thought they were divine masculines. But of course, when I do a twin flame connection check, I'm able to confirm whether which side you're on. And DMs tend not to be on YouTube watching these videos because they're usually unawakened. I have seen a couple comment here and there that have come into twin flame union and found out later. But as a general rule of thumb, it's all divine feminine. So I know it seems a bit biased when I suggest the readings are for the divine feminines. But, you know, we've got to be real. For the most part, they are. There's probably like 1 in 1,000, if that are divine masculines. But I do always look at both energies anyway. So, you know, hopefully it helps. Okay, let's see. Let's go. Pile 1. What's blocking you? What's blocking your twin? And what do you need to know to move forward? I don't know if you can hear it, but there's been a fly buzzing at my window for the last hour. He's absolutely doing my head in, which is a British term for pissing me off. But I'm wondering if it's a sign. I'm wondering if I'm picking up on some kind of irritable energy with you guys. Let's have a look at the card, shall we? Right. Shoot fly, don't bother me. Right. So this is a very powerful lineup, Divine Feminine, in terms of what's blocking you, because we've got 3 cards here that are all major arcana. We've got the Hanged Man, we've got the Magician in reverse, and we've got the Moon. I'm going to get some oracle cards out as well, actually, because I find it really helpful to look at them all at the same time. Really big energies here. Really big energies. Whew. These are so lovely, these cards. They feel lovely in the hands, even though they're quite big. They've got a lovely finish. Wow, 14 and 15. And these have definitely been very well shuffled. Finally, let's get a Lovers Oracle card. I still don't know who sent me these. Thank you so much. They're really gorgeous. Do very much appreciate it, but I feel bad that I've not had a chance to thank you properly. So if you sent me these anonymously, thank you, really appreciate it. Forgiveness. Okay. So as I said, big energies. Now, we've got 2 cards here which reference surrendering to the divine. We've got this full moon card, and of course we've just had this lunar eclipse. And we've also got the Hanged Woman. Isn't that interesting that she's called the Hanged Woman in this deck? So very divine feminine energies here. And she's hanging down into darkness. But she's got this chink of light here. This is some kind of tree branch. She's hanging down, there's water beneath her. and this beautiful pink purple light, which represents divine energy. And you've also got surrender to the divine, which is a very similar image on this card, very blue, purpley, starry skies, blue moon in the background of this one. We've got ascension as well, so, and we've also got the moon. So this is really, we've got Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. You know, this is a period of surrendering to spirit for you. And in terms of what's blocking you, it's not realising your own power. With this magician reverse, it's not realising your own power. And you're really being called to trust. To trust. You know, you've got the moon energy here. Trust, even though you can't see the way forward. And actually, I did messages from Spirit for the Divine Feminine, pardon me, on Instagram this morning. And yesterday as well. And, you know, there's a really big push right now for you all to really step into your own power and trust. It's a big message that just keeps coming through over and over. And I feel this is where there's been a block for many, many divine feminines. They're on this journey, they're buying into the twin flame concept, but they're stuck in this runner-chaser dynamic because they're not developing spiritually. And I feel like you're surrendering to that. You're moving towards it, but you don't trust yourself. You don't trust the journey. You don't trust the way forward because it's uncertain. And I pick up on a lot of frustration as well, you know, with these divine feminines that are at this stage. And again, this came up in my reading today on Instagram. You know, that impatience and frustration doesn't serve you. You've got to trust in that you're divinely guided. You don't need to know where you're going. You just have to answer the call. And this one says, you know, the original light workers, Mintankam. It's about longing for home, longing to come back to your true spiritual self. So you need to start listening to spirit. You need to start trusting. Hold your vision with this fixed moon. You know, this is a period of transformation with this inner alchemy card, period of ascension. Your soul's evolving to higher states of consciousness, and you are ready for this. So you've got to trust, but you also need to trust in self. This is about really stepping into your own power and realising your full, powerful potential, not just as a twin, as a human being, but as a light worker. You have so much to offer this community once you move into that place. And this, I'm really drawn back to this forgiveness card. It says, stop focusing your energy on past events. Life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. And this is so true. As a twin, you're going to have extra superpowers to manifest. So if your thought process and the words you choose are negative, you're going to create negative circumstances for yourself. You really have to be very mindful of how you speak, what you're wishing for, even what you're resenting. If it's coming out of your mouth, this is never going to happen for me. He's never come back. He doesn't love me. I wish I wasn't on this journey. You know, if you're using terms like this or having thoughts like this, it really doesn't serve you. You really need to realise your own power and step into it and start using it in a way that does serve you. For the Divine Masculine, I'm getting that he's in a karmic situation, because we've got the Three of Pentacles here and we've got the Page of Cups reversed, which means he's not coming forward with any messages, he's not coming forward with any offers or any romance. For those of you that whose DM isn't in a karmic situation, this could actually be about, you know, some kind of work dynamic that doesn't serve you. Remember, these cards are representing what's blocking you. So there's definitely something, if it's not a three-way relationship with this card, this Three of Pentacles, then it's definitely something to do with a work dynamic or, you know, something that needs to happen within that work dynamic before he can move forward, because he's really not feeling confident in coming forward in terms of the romance. He's not giving up. You know, we have got the Nine of Wands here at the bottom of this row in reverse. He's not giving up, but he is tired and he's not sure how to move forward. This King of Wands energy, though, is very promising. You know, we are seeing, post this Scorpio blue moon we had, and following on from all the eclipses, we're seeing so many divine masculines really being pushed to wake up. And I do feel like he is beginning to step into his power. You know, the King of Wands is very fiery, passionate energy. You've got all of this orange sacral colours here, and, you know, quite a lot of this yellow for being triggered from the solar plexus. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I've got a frog in my throat. Right. So he's just not feeling confident enough. You may be getting communication for him, but it could be very, very platonic, and not really offering you the kind of romance, reassurance that you're looking for. Remember, if you're being triggered by that, this is a big clue that you need to go within. When your twin causes you pain, you have to trust that it serves you, that he's not just being a massive dick. He's probably divinely guided as well, because he's your mirror. So the way your twin treats you is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself inside. So if you don't love yourself, he's not going to be able to love you either. You can only meet your twin as far as you have met yourself. And that's a really important message here. So I feel like for some of you, there could be contact, but it's very platonic and you're getting very frustrated and impatient with this. But, you know, trust that he is feeling very fiery. He is feeling very passionate. He's just not ready to come forward because he's closing out this karmic cycle or this work issue. But I'm really guided with this Wheel of Fortune underneath, which is in reverse, that it is a karmic cycle. And with the King of Wands, you know, whilst he's feeling passionate and really creative and enthusiastic about the connection, he's also very fearful. He's really not feeling confident enough to move this forward. In terms of how you need to move forward, you need to trust and have patience. As I said, this is coming up in every reading at the moment. Trust and patience, trust and patience. It doesn't serve you to dwell in frustration and impatience. You have to trust that you are divinely guided. You need to answer this call and surrender to spirit and connect with your own power. It's time to come home to your light work. You know, you've been training for this for lifetimes. And don't give up. You know, and you're resisting this change. We've got death in reverse here. There's some kind of dramatic change that's probably been triggered by this eclipse season, and you're resisting it. You're not ready to push forward, but you're really being asked to surrender to the divine, hold your vision. This period of transformation serves your soul's ascension. So you've just got to trust. These Kahlil Gibran cards, it says, only when you are empty are you at a standstill and balanced. I'm going to read that again, and this adds up to number 5, which is the number of change and transition. Only when you are empty are you at a standstill and balanced. And to me, this is empty of shadows, and the card's called joy and sorrow. Now, you can't have joy without sorrow. So don't resent your suffering. Don't resent your pain. It really does serve you. The pain you're feeling in this connection shows you where you need to be healed. Now, you can ignore that. And you can continue repeating that cycle until you're ready to face it, or you can evolve. It really is a case of evolve or repeat. And you have to remove all of those shadows to allow yourself to you know, have space for light. And it says, when only then you're at a standstill and balanced. And being at a standstill means to be holding your space, to be aligned in your divine feminine energy, to be holding that space. So you no longer feel the need to chase. You no longer get upset when your twin doesn't do what you want or need them to do. We've also got the earth, delights to feel your bare feet, and winds long to play with your hair. And this is number 6. This is, you know, it's number 15, but it boils back down to number 6. And this is really about connecting with nature and grounding yourself in nature. The earth delights to feel your bare feet and the winds long to play with your hair. So earth and air elements are all about grounding your intellectual understanding of what's happening in this journey. I just need to sip my drink. Oh, it's cold. About grounding all of that in your 3D reality. So for some of you, it could be that you've been so focused on the spiritual aspects of this relationship that you've not grounded what you've learned in your present reality. And there's a need to do that, you know, that mental clarity and that earthly grounded integration. So this is a very spiritual lineup for you guys. As I said, we've got the Hangman, the Magician, the Moon all up the top. We've got cards referencing surrender, being divinely guided, light workers, holding vision. So this is definitely a very spiritual time for you. But make sure you're grounded. Make sure that you are focused on your present, because the present is all we have. That's what our 3D reality is. That's where we're supposed to be, in the present, not in the past. Like it says, stop focusing on the past. You need to forgive the past events. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive the people that pissed you off. It's time to move forward. By focusing on the present, you can start creating a new reality for yourself. Remember your power as a manifester. So I want to get some more. Where's my other oracle deck? Where's it gone? I did have another one out. Bear with me, I'm just going to go and grab it. Actually, we're going to use this one. Let's get some cosmic reading cards because these are really beautiful. I always read these straight from the book, purely because the book is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to get 2 of these. They always summarise the readings so beautifully. At bottom of the deck, Sacred Journey number 26, which is H. You've been training for this for lifetimes, Divine Feminine. And if it's the case that your Divine Masculine is communicating, it's a bit platonic, you know, don't start getting all 3D rules with him, you know, or prodding him to, you know, just allow it. It all serves you. Just allow things to flow as they are. Step into your power, focus on yourself. Wow, look what's just turned over, Mirror Souls. So for some of you that weren't sure you were a twin, that's a beautiful confirmation. Of course, if you're not sure, you can always book a twin flame connection check with me. And we've also got Cosmic Connection, number 11. So this is what I was saying about your twin mirroring you, and they can only meet you as far as they've met yourself. This message has come up again, so it's obviously very relevant to you if you've picked this pile. And it says, there is an undeniable spiritual connection here with this other soul. This will help you see all facets of yourself. The person in question is indeed a mirror soul, reflecting back to you hidden aspects of yourself, both beautiful and challenging. The connection of mirrored souls is one of the hardest, yet most fulfilling relationships you will ever experience. Serving as cosmic mirrors, each soul reflects aspects of the other that may need healing and balancing. Although this process can be confrontational and challenging, it is also rewarding as it accelerates the growth in both souls. So if you have issues with self-worth and self-love, your soulmate will soon mirror to you those same qualities or do things that may cause those hidden shades to surface. There will be times when you feel very tested and challenged. However, if you see this beautiful partnership as an opportunity for growth, both you and your partner will come to embody unconditional love. Each time your mirrored soul does something to aggravate and hurt you, see this moment as an invitation to go within, to find the shadow or wounded self that is being provoked by these actions. See this as a wonderful opportunity to break old belief systems and patterns that held you a prisoner of your own mind. Your mirrored soul challenges you, but also assists you in freeing you from that repetitious wheel of suffering. You are moving through the shadowlands and coming to that place of acceptance, love and compassion. This is the greatest gift you can bestow upon each other. And the affirmation here is, through the reflection of your soul, I am better able to see all aspects of myself. The associated chakras are sacral and heart. I'm not going to read this one because it's very, very similar, and I'm going to talk you through that one. But I just want to show you this card. I'm going to put it on my community page because that really is a beautiful explanation of what the twin journey is. And, you know, this has already come up about you guys being triggered, being frustrated, being impatient. You really need to step into your own power now and purge those feelings. And you're really being, you know, this is obviously a very challenging, testing time for you, very frustrating. You're being pushed by this moon energy to surrender to the divine, trust in your vision, trust in your ascension, trust in the transformation that's taking place, and embrace it. Answer your call. What is your soul calling you to do? Get grounded, yeah? Get in the present and begin moving forward with grace. Forgive yourself, forgive others, stop focusing on the past, realise your power of manifestation. Cosmic connection, I feel like for a lot of you this is going to pertain to the astral connection between you and your twin, which could be very, very potent right now for this card to come up. So it could also relate to your, you know, as I said, this is a very spiritual lineup of cards we have for you here. It could also relate to your cosmic connection to the divine, you know, so you might find that you've got spirit guides coming in, you're beginning to open up to your psychic abilities, to your healing abilities, to your intuitive abilities. But There's certainly a tremendous amount going on spiritually for you, and you should be really proud that you've come this far. You're on the right track, Divine Feminine. You just need to keep it up now and release frustration, release impatience, forgive self. So I really hope that helped. Please do like, share and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this reading, if it resonated with you. And of course, if you would like to book a private reading with me or a twin flame connection check, you can find me at happytwins11.com. Right, let's pack these away. You can find me on Insta too if you missed that part. Okay. Pile 2. This isn't a new tarot deck. It's not actually mine. It's my daughter's. And she has quite a few. This is the Luminous tarot. And she brought it down this morning and asked me if I'd had a look at it. And I actually haven't. And I said, oh, please can I use it? Because it's really quite lovely. It's got these lovely holographic backs and these very subtle, pretty drawings. So we're going to use this today, courtesy of my eldest daughter, Amber. Right. What's blocking you, Divine Feminine? What's blocking your twin? What's blocking your connection? What do you need to know to move forward for your highest good? So, top row is the Divine Feminine. What's blocking you? It's for the Divine Masculine. What's blocking him? And what you need to do to move forward. Wow. Wow. So this is all of these bottom 6 cards of Major Arcana. This is a very powerful reading, part 2. Stuff is going down for you. We'll dig into this in a moment. I have a good read of what's happening. I just want to get some oracle cards as well. I like to see them all at once. Oh, I'm going to have that one because it fell out. Love and strength. Get some moon cards, all these lovely moon energies at the moment. I'm so excited for the Lionsgate portal. Oh, big, powerful energies. I love these shifts. I know they're challenging, but I love them because I always feel amazing afterwards. Embrace them. They really do serve us. This is a heavy reading. I'm feeling big, tense energies in my chest. Wow. Okay. Divine Feminine, what is blocking you? I'm picking up on this same frustration that I picked up in pile 1 that's been coming through in a lot of the readings lately. And I feel like if you've picked this pile, this 2 of Swords especially, you know, you're feeling very indecisive. This is asking you to have faith in saying that your commitment is being tested. And I feel like your commitment to this journey, to your twin, really is being tested. Because we've got the Knight of Cups here. And, you know, this is a very positive card in any love reading. But if in terms of what's blocking you, I'm feeling it's this lack. Because this Knight of Cups actually faces into the past. And this cup just kind of floats alone. I feel like this is an offer that was never actually made. And, you know, you're also closing out healing cycles with this 10 of Swords. We see this bird here, you know, which is stopping you from flying, from moving forward, stopping you from taking flight. So you really need to focus on your healing at the moment, because this indecision you're feeling, this lack of faith, you know, this sense of your commitment being tested, this is what's blocking your connection. This is what's holding you back. We really do have very, very powerful energies in this card. We really, really do. You've got to trust. And a grandmother of Jesus, you know, this whole journey is about seeding light. You know, it's about This came up in my reading on Insta yesterday. It's about laying foundations and trusting in the divine plan. Even when it doesn't seem like it's going in the right way, you have to trust that everything happens for a reason. And the pain and the frustration, the anguish, the suffering that you're feeling right now, even though you don't want it and you think you don't need it, it's exactly what you need to heal. But you have to accept it. You have to trust. Have faith in your dreams. You know, if your commitment's being tested, you need to ask of yourself how you're being triggered and why you're not acknowledging those triggers. Now, in terms of what's blocking your divine masculine, we've got the world in reverse, we've got the devil in reverse, and then we've got the sun. And, you know, he's really closing out huge dramatic cycles. You know, the world is a powerful ending, a new beginning. And this is a very twinny card in this deck. You've got these 4 eyes here and this almost Siamese twin, you know, creating this beautiful balance with 6 arms. 6 is the number of love. So this is in reverse. And what's blocking him is that he's working through huge, big, dramatic karma. He's releasing codependency with this devil energy. And again, this is a very twinny card. Yeah, but they're facing away from one another with their hand, you know, the devil's hands holding each of them across the crown, blocking their connection to spirit. Because when you're not connected to spirit, you're loving conditionally. And this is what you're both being called to release, but particularly your divine masculine. And that cycle just hasn't closed yet. So you need to trust that if it feels like he's rejected you, or that he's not doing, I forgot to choose one of these, he's not, you know, behaving in the way which you deem appropriate and right in these circumstances, you know, this isn't about what you think you need and want. This is about what the divine knows you need and want. And as I said, sometimes it's going to be really brutal. It's not going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to look like what you expect it. And we could argue, well, you know, is there not a more gentle way to learn these lessons? Let me tell you, there is nothing gentle about healing your shadow self. You know, that pain comes up and it's going to burn. That's just the nature of it. It's just the way it is. So you need to have faith. You need to get committed again. Now, we've also got the sun as what's blocking him. And for me, you know, this is an unusual card to come up as what's blocking someone. And on asking Arthur about this, he's saying it's not so much that, you know, the joy of the sun is what's blocking him. It's his inability to have faith in the possibility of that joy, and his inability to trust. So this comes up next to faith as well. You know, so this is the case of both of you. He just doesn't, recognise that he's worthy and deserving of such a relationship. So he's almost resigned to the fact that's something that happens to other people, not people like him. He doesn't have faith. You not having faith in your dreams right now is really not helping him to have faith. So you've got to be really aware of how your energy impacts his energy as well. We've also got here love and strength, and I feel like these are beautiful, reassuring cards for you. Live your truth, share the love that is in your soul. You're being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong, a positive outcome is assured. So this is very reaffirming, and we've also got romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So even though it may seem impossible right now, you know, and you're very indecisive about how to move forward, you know, you're just kind of in this limbo state, feeling very, very annoyed, frustrated. It could be that your divine masculine has really upset you with some ill behavior of some sort, but you have to trust that this is part of the journey. It's divinely guided, and you know, it's to help you heal. Because this Ten of Swords in energy, this lack of completion in your healing, is what's blocking you, and your refusal to accept that you're not getting what you want is being stuck in that conditional love cycle. This isn't conditional love. To be in unconditional love, you have to be in unconditional love with self first, and you need to embrace spirit. We've got where are you being called to journey to? And for me, this is a really big indicator that for a lot of you, you're not journeying at all. Journey is a is a word that can mean many things, but I'm really picking up the journey as an inner journey, that meditative practice of going within to heal. For some of you, it's literally getting onto this journey and taking it seriously, taking the steps you need to heal, because you're not going to get the outcome that you want until such a time as you're ready to heal yourself. And I said this for part 1, and I think it's a really good way of describing it. So I'm going to say it to you as well. You can only meet your twin as far as you have met yourself. His behaviour is a reflection of how you feel about self. He cannot love you if you do not love self. You are mirrors of one another. So I know that's really hard to swallow. And I said this to a client the other day, and she said, so what you're saying is it's my fault that he's running. Now that's a bit of a blunt way of putting it, but in a nutshell, pretty much. They'll run for a variety of different reasons. And this goes for me as well. Yeah, the reason I'm not in union with my twin is because it's not the right time. I still have my own healing to do. And healing really is an infinite process. There's no end, there's no beginning, it's ongoing. And of course, once we heal as divine feminines, the control passes to the divine masculine. We pass the baton, then he has to heal. And he has free will. We have no control over our divine masculine's healing. But you have to get on this journey and do it first. If you're not doing that, you're just delaying your own union. And you've been training for this for lifetimes. You know, this card really affirms that, the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetime. You're a beautiful light being. You're a natural born light worker. Trust that you can embrace spirit. Trust that you're divinely guided and that there is a divine plan, even when it feels like there mightn't be. How do you need to move forward? You need to step into your power. This also came up in part 1, the Magician's reversed. The Magician comes after the Fool. That's the acceptance of the journey as the Fool. The next step is to start realizing your own power so you can move forward. And the Magician has all the tools and skills he needs to do that. So, you know, for many of you, you may not understand what they are, but it's pretty straightforward stuff. You know, it's free to heal. You don't need to go to lots of healers. This is an inside job. This is about giving yourself time to deeply relax, to connect with spirit, and to trust the high guidance you receive in terms of how to heal. Meditation is the key. There are instructional videos on my channel. But if you actually Google how to heal in the twin flame journey, you will find a ton of information. I get a lot of people say to me, but I don't know how to. I've been to so many healers. I go for Reiki every month. I go for this every month. It's not about going to others. You have to learn to love yourself, to heal yourself. No one else can do it for you. So whilst healing practice can certainly help bring our shadows to the surface, they can help us purge, they can certainly give us a lot of guidance and advice, they're not going to take you all the way to that healing completion. Well, I mean, I don't know if there isn't any such thing, in fact, as healing completion, but you're going to move through healing to a point where you can complete this stage of the journey at the very least, which is that runner-chaser dynamic of moving into love with self. And you're resisting that at the moment, because you don't want to face your inner shadows. You don't want to have that tower moment. It could be that you're busy with work, you're busy with, you know, other things in your life, and you don't want that distraction. And, you know, the older we are, the more wounding there is that we need to dig out, the more shadows there are for us. In this tower card, you see this eye up here. It's got the infinity number 8 in it, the all-seeing eye. And, you know, this is really in reverse. This is you refusing to see the shadows, even refusing to see what needs to be destroyed, so that you can start over with a firm foundation, a new foundation. You know, this is what Anna, grandmother of Jesus, is saying, that she's laying foundations. But in order for that to happen, you've got to be out with the old. You've got to burn bridges. You've got to, you know, really purge, cancel, clear, delete. You've got to move forward. And awakening, you know, this is also in reverse. As I said, these are all major arcana cards here. What do you need to do to move forward? You need to embrace awakening. You need to embrace this rebirth. And, you know, a lot of you may be spiritually aware, but there's a big difference between spiritually aware and spiritually awake. Awakening can be painful, you know, because it kind of forces all of those shadows to the surface, but your outlook on life will be somewhat different if you have awakened. Your perception will change quite dramatically. And even though it can still be painful, for the most part, you will upon awakening, have a new appreciation for what is, for life, for others. It does kind of really trigger your compassionate heart. So, I get a lot of people come to me and say, oh, I'm awake. And you've got to be really honest with yourself. Because awakening, much like healing, is an ongoing process. The lotus flower doesn't just burst open and bloom. It opens very gently and very slowly. That's what ascension is, peeling back the layers. And when I was very humbled when I woke up, because I really did think it was a one-off event. Woohoo, I'm awake, life's amazing now. And I'm continually humbled and awestruck by these big dramatic shifts, which is, of course, ascension. Awakening is an ongoing process. I'm constantly ascending. So you have to allow this process. If you're sat there saying, well, I'm awake and that job's done, you're really kidding yourself. You have to work through awakening. You have to work through continuing to ascend. And there's definitely something that needs to be destroyed here that you're refusing to face, something that you need to let go of, that you've not been quite ready to, and you're not actually seeing what that is. See if we can get some information on what that may be for some of you. So this is surrendering low vibrational friendships, that you are no longer in alignment with, and understanding how they lower your vibration by spending too much time in the company of those people. This is about surrendering work that doesn't serve you and doesn't inspire you. Of course, you've been training for this light work. Where are you being called to journey to? Anna Grandmother Jesus says you're seeding the light. So definitely work, relationships that you are no longer aligned with, friendships that you're no longer aligned with. Your divine masculine's going through this. And of course, you need to surrender codependency. You need to surrender that attachment. So again, if you're feeling pain in your twin's absence, those are big triggers, guys. You can't ignore them. You have to confront them. If you're feeling pain because of your twin's actions and the separation, you need to let it go. You need to let it all come up. We've also got here, give not of wisdom, but of faith and lovingness. And this is about teaching. So in terms of where you're being called to journey to, give not of wisdom, but of faith and lovingness. And this is a 2-7, which adds up to number 9. This is a very powerful message. Faith and love is way more important than knowledge. So I'm picking up very strongly that for some of you, you're lost in work, you're lost in your studies, you're lost in the intellectual aspects of this journey, and you're not applying them to your heart and soul. You're not having faith. And this is why your commitment is being tested again and again, because you're being triggered to develop that faith. It says, take with you your all. And this is 3 and 8 is 11. It's about religion. Take with you your all. Spirit is always with you. You need to trust that if you leap, they will catch you. You've been training for this for lifetimes, light worker friends. Now is the time. Have faith. Trust in your dreams. Trust in the journey, live your truth, share the love that's in your soul. You're being guided by the divine. You've got to stay strong. And again, like this one said, a positive outcome is assured. What would you do if you knew the answer was yes? Isn't that liberating feeling to say, yes, this is going to happen. And actually that's true. If you are a twin to this journey, you're being pushed towards union. Your twin's always going to come back like a boomerang. I always say to people, they're like a bad smell. You can't get rid of them any more than they can get rid of you. They will always come back. You can't mess this up. You have to keep going. You have to have faith, even when it's hard. Don't resent the journey when it's hard. That's when you're going to experience the most growth, when it really starts to burn. If you're not burning, you're not trying hard enough. You're avoiding the triggers. Okay, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. I hope that reading helped you. Lots and lots of love and light coming your way from me, and I will catch you next time. Okay, Starchild Tarot, Path 3. Let's see what we have for you. What's blocking your connection? What is blocking you? What's blocking your twin? What do you need to know to move forward? I think these might be my favourite cards. I do love the Moon Child as well and the images on them, but I love the colours in this deck, and it's a more manageable size in the hand. They're just so beautiful. Okay. Right, what's blocking you, Divine Feminine? What's blocking you in your forward progress in this connection? What's blocking your Divine Masculine? What do you need to know to move forward? Wow. Aren't they beautiful, these cards? The shamanic drum that I had made for me has got this this beautiful symbol actually. Actually, I'm going to get it and show you because it's gorgeous. So I hope you can see this. Isn't that gorgeous? This is my shamanic drum. As you can see, it's got crystals inset around the edges. I'll turn it over. It's got a piece of auralite. And this was made for me by a gentleman called Grant Wilson. I hope you can still hear me even though I took my earphones off. So Grant Wilson, you can look him up online. Grant Wilson of Golden Paw in Hertfordshire, UK. This is the beta that he also made. Every aspect of this drum is made by hand. This is a piece of hazel. That's one of my children's names. There's a moonstone inset in the bottom. It's absolutely beautiful. I love my drum. Drum journeying is very powerful as well. If you would like a drum made, he normally only does them for people he's met face to face, but it might be worth inquiring anyway. We're going to get him. I'm going to do a retreat next year, and Grant's going to hopefully join us to do some drumming. Twin Flame Retreat. Keep your eyes peeled. It's coming very soon. Right. Let's get some more oracle cards. Sorry for that little detour. I just thought you'd like to know about that beautiful pattern that's on my drum, inspired by these cards. Right, creation, inner alchemy, that came up in pile 1. Let's get some Moonology cards. What's blocking you guys? Let's have a look-see. What do you need to know? You are good enough. Step out of your comfort zone. I'm going to get that one. Sing to me a deeper song, and in your longing for your giant self lies your goodness. That's beautiful. What a lovely message. We'll read that one in a minute. That's from the Lover's Oracle. Okay. Divine Feminine, what's blocking you? To be honest, I feel like you know. If you've chosen this pile, you're doing really quite well. But healing is infinite. There's more to come, of course. But at the moment, I feel like you're very tuned in and tapped into what lights you up. We've got this Starseed card here. You're really embracing your emotion. But right now, you're in a tough cycle. And it's forced you to question. You're definitely out of your comfort zone. You're not feeling good enough. But with the Empress here, and this comes up next to creation, you're not seeing your creative power. You know, being creative is a really wonderful way. as it says here, to witness the unfolding of your limitless creative soul. And with the Queen of Crystals, or Pentacles as it is, in reverse, you're really not embracing that opportunity to create your own abundance, to create your own way forward. So it's like you're in your power, but this massive moon cycle, this big lunar eclipse and all these different eclipses that we've had that are pushing us forward, have actually kind of wobbled you slightly out of alignment, and you're not realizing your own power. This is definitely a period of transformation. And this inner alchemy card reminds you that, you know, that inner peace is achieved when you react to fear with love. And of course, fear is fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. When you're feeling those things, if you can give yourself love and self-soothe and respond compassionately to those fearful events or occurrences, you're going to navigate this journey with much more grace. So you're kind of in your power. You've made really fabulous progress. And Arthur's saying, you know, round of applause for yourself. And this came up in my reading on Insta as well today, about giving yourself a pat on the back and acknowledging how far you've come. But it's also about realizing the truth, because it's wobbled you out. For a lot of you, this could also mean that you've actually got a lot of stress in your 3D reality right now. There could be jobs closing out, you know, or you know, careers changing or crumbling around you, home life not being very stable. And of course, these things happen when we're being pushed towards, you know, aligning our life with what needs to change. This card actually says what is not aligned or needs to change. So if you're finding that, you know, you're not quite grounded in this current 3D in a comfortable or peaceful way because everything around you seems to be breaking down, then you can probably, you know, trust that this is because what lights you up isn't what you're choosing right now. And let me tell you, if you don't follow the divine guidance, if you're not tuned into it, it's going to push you down that path anyway. And this is what happened to me. I was dragged to this path, kicking and screaming. I kid you not, okay? There was no gentle easing me in. It was a case of, you're going to do this now, and everything around you has to break and crumble so that you can start over and do what we need you to do. And it was a very painful and scary time. So I do understand. I feel like you've just as you've started surrendering and moving into acceptance, you've had all of these massive shifts, and just trust that they're designed to push you that extra mile. And you need to really give yourself a break. This card says, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And celebrate, again, came up in my Insta reading today for messages for the Divine Feminine from Spirit. So go and check that out. It really is a time to celebrate how far you've come, to not be distracted by the current energies if they're tumultuous, to really have faith that, you know, you've been doing so well and that you can continue doing well, that this period is just a transitional time. It's, you know, you're going through this transformation. We've also got here, close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. So there's a powerful lesson in that, because joy shouldn't be dependent on that which is outside of you. So that's a big Divine Feminine lesson. To allow anything outside of you to disturb your peace of mind, or to rely on anything outside of you to make you happy, isn't safe. Happiness is an inside job. True joy, true happiness is the ability to feel those emotions regardless of what is happening around you, because you're able to hold your inner balance, your inner alignment. And again, what is not aligned or needs to change. If you're feeling this pain throughout these circumstances, you're not aligned with that inner power, that inner peace, that inner joy. So some of the things that are occurring in your, you know, in your 3D reality, you'll have no control over. You don't have any control of anything that is outside of you. That's why it's not safe to pin your joy and happiness on that. But you have ultimate control when you go within. You know, what lights you up, that inner cosmic connection, is what lights you up. Your divine masculine is blocked by, you know, definitely with this Queen of Cups reversed, a complete lack of self-love. With the Two of Crystals, this is a rebalancing, and this for me is also a very twinny card. So it's very possible that this isn't just about rebalancing. This is about him integrating the truth about your connection and finding it quite scary, finding commitment scary, because we've got this Knight of Wands energy here, which is traditionally quite flighty, you know, quite passionate. And I feel like he wants to come forward with an offer, but he's really afraid. He doesn't feel good enough either. He's not in his comfort zone any more than you are. And remember, you two feed off one another's energies. So when you get aligned, you step into your inner peace and power, he's going to follow suit. Not immediately. He's still got free will. He still has to work through his own shadows. But it's certainly going to cause spirit to shove him even further along in this journey, just like it's been shoving you. So all those signs, synchronicities and triggers become much harder for the divine masculine to ignore when you step into your power. You know, I think it's very much the case that once you're in your power, as I said, you pass the baton to him and then he's got to run with it. Spirit will continue triggering him until he pays attention. So if you're divine masculine, you know, he's really struggling with issues of self-worth. He's struggling to integrate the truth of your connection, to understand how it can actually work. There could be, you know, a big age gap between you guys. You may live a great distance from one another, and it doesn't look like the easiest relationship to have. I'm really picking up that for some divine masculines, they're really asking themselves, could this actually work? How's it going to work? You know, they're rationalizing, they're all up in their heads about it and trying to figure out a logical solution or way forward. But what they really want to do is come forward with this fiery, passionate offer, but they're holding back because they're afraid and because they don't feel good enough. You know, I feel like they fantasize about what could be, but they don't actually know how to make that reality. In terms of what you need to know to move forward, we've got the Six of Cups reverse. Now, this card can mean a lot of things. It can refer to soul connections, but Arthur's really screaming in my ear right now. God bless him. He doesn't pop up this much normally. He's been really on me today. He is really saying that this is actually about childhood inner wounds that need to be released, and you need to do that in meditation. We've got this Four of Swords card here, which is really about reflection and really taking the time out to delve deep into your inner psyche and understand what needs to be done, what needs to be healed. And that's where you're going to find your peace. That's where, like this World card, which is about the cycle, and we've got Metatron's cube here. You know, you can meditate and call in Archangel Metatron as well. He can help you with this. But for this cycle to move gracefully and swiftly, you need to definitely focus on that inner balance, that going within, that deep, deep reflection to address those childhood wounds. And also be patient, because this isn't going to move fast. And chances are, you know, with the Eight of Wands reversed, and this is a very twinny card, you've got that very symmetrical mirror image here, but chances are that you're not going to get the rapid fire communication that you would like or have been expecting. Things might slow down while both of you navigate this period of transition. This one, in your longing for your giant self lies your goodness. And this is about good and evil. So this comes up next to you are good enough. And remember, if you're not loving self, if you're not loving yourself, you're tapping into fear-based energy and holding it within you. If you are loving yourself, you're tapping into the true goodness within you. And that longing is there. This is 3 and 4 adds up to 7. That's a very divine number. You just have to go within. And this is a number 5, and it says, sing to me a deeper song. You have to dig deeper to lift out these wounds. You have to step out of your comfort zone. It's only going to sting for a moment. It's like when you have a cut on your leg, you've got to clean it out. You've got to put alcohol on it. You've got to tend to it, or it's going to get infected. You can't leave this. We've also got a new chapter for you guys. I'm going to read this card straight from the book. I feel like this book is just so beautiful. New chapter, change is afoot. Trust what's breaking down. Right, it says you're being nudged to move forward. Take that next step. A new adventure awaits. Inner change and transformation has been occurring within you, and your soul now yearns to take that next step. A leap of faith into the unknown. A new chapter waits with new opportunities and adventures. Your heart has been nudging you forward for some time now, but the cautious mind has kept you at bay. Don't let fears of the unknown hold you back in a place that offers no growth. More than anything, your soul longs to grow and evolve. Step out of your comfort zone. Staying where you are does not give you room to soar to new heights of spiritual awareness and full consciousness. This part of the journey can be quite difficult, not only for you, but for those around you. Go through the process, honour your feelings and the feelings of those involved, but don't stay in this state of discontent. Honour this period. Move through it with courage, strength and determination. Breathe deep and release all fears, doubts and concerns. Follow your heart, listen to your intuition and guidance, and believe in yourself. Don't trouble yourself with the opinions and expectations of others. This is your life, and you know what is truly best for you. Although you can't see it, your next chapter brings wondrous lessons for the growth that is needed for your soul. Be true to yourself always, and trust that Spirit will guide your way. Take some time out to reflect on nature's wisdom to guide you through this period. Rest assured there are smooth roads ahead. And the prayer for this card is, Great Spirit, guide me through this transition and give me the courage to make choices that help my soul to grow. The associated chakras are solar plexus and heart, which means you're being really triggered right now. So that's an absolutely powerful card to summarise this reading, and it is 2 and 4 is number 6. That's the number of love. So trust that's where you're heading to. And it's like this card. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. That is so powerful. Thank you so much, Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine, if you happen to be the 0.1% of those that actually watch it. If you would like to book a private reading for me, you can of course find me at Happy Twins 1111. If you would like to find me on Insta, I'm also Happy Twins 1111 on there. I will see you soon. You can also join my networking group on Facebook, which helps connect you with other Divine Feminines, and I think we have actually got a Divine Masculine there. That's going to help you really move forward with this journey. Right, part 4. This is the beautiful High Tarot that I've been using all week. It is, of course, created by my daughter's beautiful friend. I'd like to think my friend now. I mean, it's not like we hang out or anything. We mainly talk tarot, don't we, Dan? But he's absolutely adorable. I'm very proud of him for creating this beautiful deck. He has a Kickstarter campaign live at the moment. You can find the link to that and the link to his Instagram, so you can follow his progress in the description box below. This is actually a sample deck. It's not the original deck that you guys are going to receive if you pledge the Kickstarter campaign. The new one's going to have holographic black edges, which I think is really sexy. Very excited about that. And the book is absolutely fabulous as well. He's just such a talented soul. So if you would like to pledge to that, I know a good chunk of the money is actually going to charity. Dan lost his dad to cancer last year, well, the beginning of this year, in fact, I think. And he was so moved by the level of care from Isabel Hospice, who support people with terminal cancer in their final days, that he felt compelled to, give something back. And so you're not just contributing to Dan's vision with this project, you're contributing to a very worthwhile cause. And we've all been touched by cancer, so I think it's nice to know that, some of that money is going to charity as well. And of course, if you donate enough, you will get a shiny deck straight off the shelves before anyone else. So go and check it out. And I'm very honoured and privileged to have this deck to practice with while it's technically still not available. What a treat. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's amazing. Right. What do you need to know, Divine Feminine? What's blocking you? What is blocking you? How do you need to move forward? What's blocking your twin? What do you need to know to move forward? That card came up for the masculine in one of the other piles as well, in exactly the same spot. Mad things. Give this a riffle shuffle. Aren't they gorgeous? I really, really do love these cards. Okay. Oh, what a lovely day. Give these a riffle shuffle as well. I think, I don't know if they're too big. I'm going to try just about get my fingers around them. Oh. This card came out in the exact same spot in the last pile. So, Divine Feminine, what is blocking you? Wow, okay. Now I'm just going to give you a little heads up. This reading might trigger you. I'm looking at the cards. I'm known for my hard truths. I don't always sugarcoat it, though. I try and be really sensitive and diplomatic in my delivery. But it serves you to know this, okay? You're not making this transition. You're resisting it. You're so focused on union that you're not seeing what you need to do, which is to establish the light within, to establish your own inner guidance, peace, trust, security, stability, self-worth. Okay, we've got the Six of Swords in reverse here. It's called the lily pad. And actually, I think that's actually a beautiful image for the card, because the lily pad blocks your access to the water. Water, of course, represents emotion. So, you know, in here, I think it's being used as a stepping stone. I have to check the book to see how Dan intended it to be read. But that's really coming through very strongly for me, that you're resisting going deeper into this inner journey. You're focused on union with this Two of Cups, and you're not, you know, bear in mind this row is what's blocking you. You know, you're not in the hermit energy, which is what you need to be, which is completely focused on self. You're in a journey. You know, the snail is slow, steady and patient, and he carries that stability, security, that home on his back. And home is within. You know, to rely on anything outside of you for security, stability, self-worth, love is really dangerous, because you have no control over those things. You have to nurture all of those things inside of you. That's what coming into union with self means. And you're very focused on twin union. You're not focused on yourself. And we've got here the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You've been training for it for lifetimes. And you need to trust that when you've answered this deep calling, you see this warrior lady grasping the sword of truth. When you acknowledge your truth, when you answer your deep calling, you know, you're going to make some massive progress. But at the moment, it's like you're a little bit stuck. And it might not be that you've not made any progress, but right now you're stuck and you're refusing a transition that you're being called to acknowledge. And it says here as well, Earth Guide, your sacred calling upon this planet is simply to love and be loved. You know, that's it. And this card says the same. Love is sufficient unto love. That's all you need. But love begins inside. It's an inside job. Once you take care of the love inside of you, there will be enough love flowing from you for everybody that needs it. Okay? And with this Earth Guide here, and we've also got, you know, these really connect, get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And, you know, this Earth Guide stuff. So I feel like you probably have a very deep affinity with nature, and perhaps you've not been using this to help you expand in your spiritual light, to help you connect in a much, you know, a much deeper way to your own spirituality. It may be something that you've been neglecting in recent times. So, you know, go for a walk outdoors, get out in the garden if you have one, get your fingers in the earth, go for a stroll on the beach, collect shells. You know, if you see a feather, pick it up. Start enjoying your connection to the earth, because I feel like for a lot of you this is something that you've enjoyed for time but have kind of moved away from recently because you've been so caught up in other things, and you've also got reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So this is possibly why you're so unbalanced right now and so focused on the twin journey, is because you're in pain because of some kind of separation. This came up in my reading on Instagram today. You really need to trust that that separation serves you. That, you know, this is a period of time when both of you are being challenged and tested to develop as individuals so that a new romantic cycle can begin. It's time to release negativity. Love is sufficient unto love. Yeah? And we've got wisdom here. See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. So this really suggests that someone's been, you know, throwing a spanner in the works, trying to cause problems for you, trying to lower your vibration. And this in itself is a challenge and a trigger for you to grow. So try not to be angry or frustrated with this person. Ask of yourself, what is this person trying to teach me? So your divine masculine, we had the Two of Pentacles come up also for one of the other piles as a blockage. And this for me says he understands and knows about this connection. But he's in a three-way relationship. And this is a deeply, you know, this is the fish. This is very watery. And you've got three very different fish in this card. But he's definitely involved with a karmic of some sort, or he's wrapped up in some kind of triangle. Perhaps it's not with a partner. It could be that he's completely attached to his mother, or that, you know, he's got a friend that's trying not to, you know, trying to talk him out of this connection. But he's learning to trust his own guidance. But, you know, that those voices and opinions of people we care about or close to can really dramatically affect how he's feeling. But there's definitely a blockage here that involves a third person. For some of them, it will be a karmic, because he's questioning this connection and how it could be. And we've got the starfish and the fish. You know, these are both very watery cards. For me, the Two of Pentacles is a very twinny card. And, you know, the starfish has 5 points, which is, you know, the number of transition. So perhaps he doesn't know how he can move into this relationship. And with the horse, which is also known as the sun, the sun also known as the horse, you know, this is about, he's questioning, can I be happy? So it could be that there's real challenges in your connection as far as the differences in age, cultural beliefs. I'm really picking up for some of you actually that this is a dramatic cultural clash, where it could be this is family that's not going to agree with the different belief system that your twin has compared to you. It might be a different religious culture or something like that. So that's going to be very, you know, prevalent for some of you. As I said, this Three of Cups, I'm getting strongly that for many of you it's not actually a karmic romantic relationship. This is a karmic familial relationship or a friendship that's getting involved and, you know, creating a lot of inner conflict and doubt in your twin. And it's caused him to really say, you know, can we be happy? Can we make this relationship work? Because it probably challenges the status quo of what a normal relationship looks like. So that could be, as I said, a massive age gap, cultural differences, perhaps even massive geographic differences that is going to require your twin to move away. So he's definitely questioning this a lot, and he's got a lot of interference from that third party at the moment. But, you know, a new romantic cycle is going to begin soon. It's time to release negativity. What you need to do is go within and embrace your own inner light. As far as moving forward goes, we've got Page of Wands, which is, you know, that's an offer of some sort, and it's a spiritual offer. You know, the moth is drawn to light. Yeah, remember that. That's one thing we all know about the moths, is that, you know, even though they're nocturnal, they are drawn to light. You switch your light bulb on a warm summer's evening and they're all there, aren't they, fluttering around it. So follow the light, okay? That's a really clear and relevant message for me. We've got the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is the monster. And now is not a time for kind of making any offers. I think it's not a time for making offers to your divine masculine. We've got a cockerel on this card. You know, this is a time to rest, relax. This is the Four of Swords. It's also called the Moss. And this is a period of rest, relaxation. I need to read this up. Isn't that an interesting card? The Moss, I need to know what that means. But the traditional symbol of the Four of Swords is, of course, taking that time to reflect very deeply before you take any action. So don't be coming forward with messages or offers for your twin now. Now is the time to focus on your own, this hermit energy of going within. And if you don't read the tarot, I would like you to go and read up on what the hermit card means. Because if you had to take one card away with you for advice, it's that one. This is where you need to be. You need to take your focus off the union. Okay, it says here, give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that everything will work out for the best, because a new romantic cycle is beginning. But for now, you need to release negativity. You need to get in touch with yourself, to get grounded, to answer your calling, to release negativity. And we've got here as well, sing to me a deeper song. You know, this is about digging deeper so that you can move forward, dig out those shadows. And that Four of Swords is really asking you to go within, to meditate. And of course, this comes up also under the Hermit. So we're going to get one of these cosmic reading cards, which I'm going to read straight from the book. They always summarize the readings so beautifully. Surrender, number 31. Surrender to what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. If you have picked this card, you are being guided to surrender. Surrender your worries, burdens, and control over outcomes, and just be with life in this present moment. By surrendering, you allow life to move forward naturally as it should. Resisting the cycles of life only cause anguish, frustration, and a feeling of constant struggle. Dear one, stop persisting in swimming the other way. When you push against life, life pushes back, and what you resist most will continue to exist in your life. So that's really powerful, okay? You can't resist the triggers because they will just persist. Do you feel perplexed by the fall of autumn leaves? No, for there is trust in the natural cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Remember, a new romantic cycle's beginning. Trust it. We too experience these cycles. However, most of us live in a state of unawareness and resist the cycles of change. This doesn't mean you should quit, but rather to make that decision to trust in the cycles of life. For when you are in acceptance of what is, you become more empowered to attract the outcome you desire. And guys, this is a very powerful message for twins. This is what I'm saying to Divine Feminines all the time. When you step into your power, you magnetize your twin back to you. But you have to move into surrender and acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up your power and light to another, allowing yourself to be ill-treated, or giving up on your dreams. Acceptance is giving up your resistance to what is and allowing spirit to guide you to do what needs to be done. When you surrender to that tight hold you have on the situation and bring yourself to a place of inner peace, you will find that clarity. Solutions will appear and allow deeper wisdom to guide your way. Energy that was once spent on resistance will now be focused on projects that bring you joy. This in turn will attract the miracles and blessings you so hope for. And the affirmation is, I surrender to this moment and trust in Great Spirit to guide my way. The associated chakra is the solar plexus, which is of course the chakra from which we experience triggers on this journey. So this is a big one for you. You know, you're really being pushed to release this fixation on twin flame union and to focus on your part of this journey so that you can move into surrender and acceptance and find some peace. You've got to release the negativity. You've got to go within. You've got to answer your calling and trust that you're a natural born light worker. Thank you so much, Pile 4. As always, it's a joy to read for you. If you'd like a private reading from me, twin flame connection check, some energy healing or spirit release therapy, you can find me at happytwins1111.com. You can also find me on Instagram, happytwins1111. You can find my Facebook networking group on Facebook. It's called the Happy Twins 1111 Networking and Support Group, but there is a link to it in the description box down below. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Lots of love.